Hi there, and welcome to another Papetti Math YouTube video tutorial where I'm going to be teaching you, yes, you, Algebra 1. We are continuing on in our study of statistics, and we are on Lesson 2 that deals with box and whisker plots. So in exercise number 3 right here, we have a survey that was conducted outside the local movie theater. People leaving a particular showing of a movie were asked how they would rate the movie they just watched on a scale from 1 to 10. The results of the survey are shown below. So we have an 8, a 5, 6, 3 sevens, a 5, a 4, a 9, a 10, a 4, a 5, another 7, an 8, and a 9. So it's a pretty decent movie, I'd say. Anyway, it wants you to create a 5-number summary for these data. So this is the first exercise in this lesson where we're going to have to create the 5-number summary, and we're not given it. So what we want to do is we want to get that graphing calculator out again. And when we get that graphing calculator out, we're going to definitely want to go to our stat and edit our lists. Now, if you have numbers in that list already, go up to L1, highlight L1. Once L1 is highlighted, click Clear, and then click Enter. Once you've done that, you're ready to input your values into list 1. Let's go back and take a look at some of our values that we're going to input. And we have 8, 5, 6, and then 3 sevens. So 8, 5, 6, and 3 sevens. And then we have 5, 4, 9, 5, 4, 9. I don't want to do 2 at a time. Make sure I don't mess up. 10, 4, 5, 10, 4, 5. And then finally, I think it said 7, 8, and 9. And we are on line 16 of our data set. So I want to make sure I had 15 ratings on this movie. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Yes. So I did enter all 15 data values into my list. And now I want to go to Stat, over to Calc, and I want to press Enter on one variable statistics, or as you see it, one var stats. When I click Enter, I'm going to go down to Calculate, and I'm going to calculate my one variable statistics on this information. And my 5-number summary is found at the bottom of this information. So these 5 numbers right here, 4, 5, 7, 8, and 10. So that was my first part of this exercise, create a 5-number summary. So we're going to recopy those values as our minimum, our first quartile, our median, our third quartile, and our maximum. So again, our minimum was 4, our first quartile was 5. Let's go back. Our median was 7. Our third quartile was 8. And our maximum was 10. So now that we have our 5-number summary, we're able to create a box and whisker plot to represent these data. So our minimum is going to be 4, so that's going to be a point above 4. Our first quartile will be at 5, so we're going to draw a vertical line at 5. That's going to create our box. Our median will be at 7, so another vertical line at 7. Our third quartile at 8. Once we have the 3 vertical lines, we could go ahead and we could connect those 3 to make the box. And our maximum will be at 10, so another point at 10, and that makes our whisker. So right there, we have our box and whisker plot. Now, when you create this box and whisker plot, we do have our 5-number summary up here, but we do want to, somewhere on our plot, label that our minimum is 4, our first quartile is 5, our median is 7, our third quartile is 8, and our maximum is 10. You could choose to do this off to the side, or you could do it above each part of the graph by saying minimum is 4, and so on. And the reason you do this is because this sure does look like 4, but you could be dealing with decimals here, and this could be 3.9, this could be 3.99, this could be 4.01, 4.03, who knows what it is. So we do need to list out the exact values off to the side of the graph. The graph is very useful for determining how spread out different sections of the data are, but we do want to know the exact values off to the side over here. So it's very helpful to do that as well. And finally, in part C, not finally, because we have a part C and a D on this question. In part C, it says every box and whisker plot has a range, an interquartile range. So we have a range, and then we also have an interquartile range. The range is found by subtracting the minimum value from the maximum value. We might have seen that before in 6th grade. But the interquartile range is found by subtracting the first quartile from the third quartile. So the interquartile range is really the range of your box right here. So you're going to subtract your third quartile from your first quartile, and you'll get your interquartile range right here, while the range is the entire set of data. So what is the interquartile range of the box and whisker plot above? So again, to find the interquartile range, you're going to do the third quartile minus the first quartile. And that means your interquartile range can be found by subtracting 8 minus 5. And that means your interquartile range is going to be 3. And that's all for that one. And now for part D, it says the survey was taken for a different movie at the same theater. The results are shown below as a box and whisker plot. How did viewers rate this movie compared to the movie in part B? Explain your answer. So now we're going to compare these two charts. So take a look at this chart compared to that chart and see how you think that those two might be different and how they might be similar. Okay, now we can see them both in the same window. All right, so let's take a look at this. The median of our data set down here is an 8, while the median was a 7. So half of the viewers that were asked said half of them believed it was a 7 or above, while half of the viewers that were asked up here believed that the movie was an 8 or above. So a quarter of the viewers believed it was a 9 or above down here, and only a quarter of the viewers down here believed that it was an 8 or above. So while only, let's take that measure right there. So this is our third quartile, which means that 25% of the people surveyed said it was an 8 or above, while 50% of the people down here said it was an 8 or above. So I'd say that this movie down here was a better movie according to the viewers than this movie down here. They both had a minimum score of 4, but then everybody else, pretty much 75% of people, because this is our first quartile, so this represents 75%. 75% of people said it was a 7.5 or better, but in this one, 75% said it was only a 5 or better. So definitely we see the box way up higher in the numbers on the right side of our scale compared to this one. So I think it would be safe to say that the viewers rated this movie in part D much better than they rated the movie in part B. All right. So if this video was helpful in order to create a 5-number summary for data, construct a box and whisker plot, find an interquartile range, and then compare two box and whisker plots to each other, give the video a thumbs up below to let me know that this video was helpful for you. Now you're ready for lesson 3 in the chapter 12 study of statistics.